Your Silverado starts shifting hard, or it hunts between gears, or there is a shudder around 45 that feels like rumble strips. You take it in, and the quote comes back, $4,000 to $6,000 for a transmission. Here is what a lot of shops will not walk you through first. A large share of those symptoms are caused by things that are not a failed transmission. They are fluid, a computer that has forgotten how to shift, a $50 mount, or a solenoid that never required pulling the transmission out of the truck. 7 checks, in order, cheapest first. And at the end, I will tell you exactly how to know when it genuinely is the transmission, because sometimes it is. Let's go. Why the order matters. Before the list, understand the logic, because the order is the entire value of this video. A transmission does not have one failure mode. It has a chain. Fluid feeds hydraulic pressure. Hydraulic pressure applies clutch packs. A computer decides when and how hard that happens. And a mount holds the whole assembly still while it does it. A symptom at the end of that chain, a hard shift, can be caused by anything anywhere along it. So when a shop skips straight to the most expensive item on the chain, they are not necessarily lying to you. They are quoting the fix that solves everything at once, because that is the fix that cannot come back. It is also the fix with the biggest invoice. Your job is to work the chain from the cheap end. Every check on this list is ordered by cost, and each one either fixes your problem or eliminates a possibility, which makes the next diagnosis sharper. Do them in order. Do not skip to number 6 because it sounds more serious. The expensive problems are frequently the cheap problems that were ignored. Check 1. Fluid level and condition. How to check it properly. Free, and it is the most commonly skipped step on the entire list, because on most modern Silverados, there is no dipstick. GM removed it, which means most owners have genuinely never seen their transmission fluid, and a lot of shops know that. Here is what matters. Transmission fluid level must be checked HOT and at a specific temperature range, with the truck level through the fill plug on the side of the transmission. Check it cold and you will get a reading that means nothing. Overfill it and the fluid foams, which causes exactly the erratic shifting you are trying to fix. Underfill it and you get slipping and delayed engagement. On condition, healthy fluid is a clear red. Dark brown means it is degraded. If it smells burnt, that is clutch material and heat, and that tells you something further down the chain has been suffering. Now the honest part. If you find a truck at high mileage with black, burnt fluid that has never been serviced, be careful. There is a real phenomenon where fresh fluid in a badly neglected, worn transmission can bring on failure faster, because the old fluid's debris was effectively holding worn clutches together. That is not an argument for never changing it. It is an argument for changing it on time from early in the truck's life so you are never in that position. One more thing on this check that costs nothing and tells you a lot. Note, when the symptom happens. A shudder that appears under light, steady acceleration around 40 to 50 miles per hour is a very different story from a hard bang going into gear from a stop, and both are different again from the truck hunting up and down between 2 gears on a slight incline. Write down exactly what your truck does and at what speed and under what throttle, because that description is worth real money when you finally do talk to a shop. Vague symptoms get vague, expensive quotes. A precise symptom, shudder, light throttle, 45, warms up and it is still there, points at a specific part of the chain, and makes it much harder for anyone to start at the most expensive answer. Check 2. The adaptive relearn, free, and it fixes more than people expect. Also free, and this is the one that quietly saves people thousands. Your transmission uses adaptive learning. The computer watches how you drive and adjusts shift firmness and timing to suit, storing those corrections across thousands of miles and compensating for normal clutch wear as it happens. 2 things wipe it. First, losing battery power, a battery change, a jump gone wrong, a flat battery overnight. Those learned values reset to a factory baseline, and baseline is calibrated for a factory fresh transmission, not one with 100,000 miles on it. That is why a truck that was perfect yesterday shifts badly the morning after a new battery. Second, multiple drivers. If it learned around your smooth driving and a heavy-footed driver has it for a week, it adapts to them. Here is how to make it relearn properly instead of waiting and hoping. Get the transmission fully warm. From a complete stop, accelerate gently and steadily at light throttle and let it walk up through every gear without you touching anything. Come to a full stop. Repeat that 15 to 20 times. Then do a second set with slightly firmer throttle. Most trucks smooth out within 50 to 150 miles. If your symptoms started right after a battery event, do not authorize any transmission work until you have done this. 2 practical notes. Do the relearn drive somewhere with light traffic, where you can accelerate steadily without somebody behind you. A quiet industrial road early on a Sunday is ideal. You cannot get a clean relearn in stop-go traffic, which is exactly why most owners never get one and conclude the transmission is broken. And be clear about what this will not fix. If the truck shifted badly before the power loss, the relearn is not your answer, because you are just teaching the computer to compensate around a mechanical problem, which masks it and buys you nothing. The tell is simple. Fine yesterday, wrong today, and the only thing that changed was the battery? This is your fix, and it is free. Wrong for months and getting worse? Keep moving down the list. Check 3. Scan for codes. A cheap scanner changes the conversation. An OBD T2U scanner costs very little, and it changes the entire dynamic of walking into a shop. Instead of describing a feeling, you arrive with a code. And transmission codes on these trucks are specific enough to point at a component. To give you real examples, a code for shift solenoid 1 points somewhere completely different than a clutch pressure control solenoid code stuck off, and that second one, for instance, relates to losing proper function of a specific clutch, which explains a symptom that shows up around one particular shift rather than everywhere. That is the difference between "my truck shifts weird" and "I have a specific circuit reporting a specific fault." One caution, and it is important. The diagnostic system on these transmissions can be misleading. A code tells you which circuit is unhappy, not always which part is at fault. A solenoid code can be caused by the solenoid, by the wiring, by low pressure upstream, or by dirty fluid affecting how it operates. So use codes to narrow the search, not to buy parts blindly. But walking in with a code number means nobody can start the conversation at the most expensive possible answer. There is also a category of code worth knowing about that has nothing to do with the transmission at all. Engine misfires, a failing wheel speed sensor, or a throttle position fault can all produce symptoms that feel like transmission trouble because the transmission is reacting to bad information it is being fed. A truck that hesitates and then lurches may have a fueling problem, not a shifting problem. That is why scanning matters before spending. It separates a broken transmission from a transmission reacting correctly to something else that is broken. Very different bills, and only one involves the transmission. Quick pause, hit like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments what a shop has quoted you for a transmission and what your symptoms were, because those numbers help everybody watching. 4 checks to go, including the $50 part that mimics a failing transmission, and the repair that sounds terrifying but never requires the transmission to come out of the truck. Let's keep going. Check 4. The transmission mount, a $50 part that mimics failure. Around $50 and roughly 30 minutes, and it is on this list because of how convincingly it imitates something much worse. Your transmission is held by a rubber mount. When that rubber cracks, collapses, or separates with age, the entire assembly is allowed to move under load. What you feel is a clunk on engagement, a jolt going into gear, and a harshness during shifts that feels exactly like the transmission slamming. It is not. It is the whole unit shifting position, and the shock reaching you through the floor instead of being absorbed. This is a genuinely common misdiagnosis, and it is trivial to check. Get the truck safely supported, look at the mount, and pry on it gently. If the rubber is cracked or the mount moves excessively, replace it. And while you are under there, look at the engine mounts too, because a failed engine mount produces a similar clunk and people chase it into the transmission constantly. $50 and half an hour standing in front of a $4,000 quote is the best odds on this entire list. The way to tell the difference between a mount problem and an internal one is where and when you feel it. A mount announces itself as a single sharp clunk at the moment of engagement, park to drive, drive to reverse, and often as a jolt when you lift off or get back on the throttle, because that is when the driveline loads and unloads. An internal transmission problem is more likely to show up during a shift while you are moving, at a consistent gear change, rather than at the instant of engagement. Neither test is perfect, but if your complaint is mostly a clunk going into gear and the truck shifts fine once rolling, spend the $50 first. Check 5. Fluid and filter service. The bottle that must be blue. Roughly $150, and this is where the right spec matters more than the price. Do a drain and fill with a new filter, not an aggressive power flush on a truck with unknown history. A drain and fill replaces a portion of the fluid and refreshes the additive package without stripping everything at once. Now the specs. And get these right because they are not interchangeable. If you have the 6L80 or 6L96 speed, you want Dexron 6, full synthetic. If you have the 8-speed, the 8L45 or 8L90, listen carefully because this is the single most useful thing in this video for those owners. GM issued a service bulletin in December of 2018 introducing a revised formula of Mobil 1 synthetic Leve ATF, specifically to address torque converter clutch shudder, that rumble strip feeling under light acceleration. The revised fluid has a blue label. The older black and silver label is the formula associated with the problem. If you have an 8-speed with a shudder, the fluid in the bottle you buy genuinely matters, and a parts counter employee may not know that. And if you have the 10-speed, the 10L80, it uses Dexron ULV, which is different again. Buy for your transmission, not for what is on the shelf. And there is a reason this check sits at number 5 rather than number 1, even though it is the fix everybody jumps to. If your fluid is genuinely degraded, replacing it can absolutely resolve hard shifting and shudder. That is real. But if the underlying cause is a worn solenoid, a failing mount, or wiped adaptives, fresh fluid buys you a few hundred miles of improvement, and then the symptom returns, and now you have convinced yourself the transmission is dying when it never was. Doing the free checks first is what tells you whether a fluid service is a fix or just a temporary mask, and do not let anyone talk you into a high-pressure flush on a high-mileage truck with unknown history. Drain and fill, twice if you want more of the volume refreshed, spaced a few thousand miles apart. Check 6, shift and pressure control solenoids. The transmission does not come out. Here is the check that surprises people most, and it is the reason a lot of rebuild quotes are premature. Inside your transmission is the valve body, and on the 6L80, it is combined with the control module and the solenoids into a single unit called the TEHCM, the Transmission Electro-Hydraulic Control Module, which lives inside the transmission fluid. Solenoids are what actually route hydraulic pressure to apply your clutch packs. When one sticks or wears, you get hard shifts, missed gears, or a fault on one specific shift while everything else feels fine. Individual shift and pressure control solenoids run roughly $50 to $150. And here is the part nobody tells you when they are quoting a rebuild. The valve body and the TEHCM are accessible from the pan. The transmission does not have to come out of the truck. That turns a job people assume is catastrophic into something a competent independent shop handles in a day. Two honest caveats. First, worn solenoids can wear grooves into the valve body, and in that case replacing a single solenoid is a false economy. The assembly needs to go. Second, a new or reman TEHCM requires programming. Rebuilding your existing one does not. Ask which you are being quoted. This is also the point where the difference between a dealer and a good independent transmission shop shows up most clearly in your bill. A dealer quoting from a fault code will often go straight to a replacement unit because that is the answer that cannot come back to them. A specialist transmission shop is far more likely to drop the pan, actually inspect the valve body and solenoids, and tell you what is genuinely worn. Same symptom, same truck, wildly different invoices. So if you have reached check 6 and you are being handed a number with 4 digits in it, that is exactly the moment to get a second opinion from somebody who works on transmissions all day rather than somebody who replaces them. Check 7, the cooler and the heat story. The last check before the expensive conversation, and it is the one that determines whether your repair lasts. Everything upstream on this list is affected by one thing: heat. Transmission fluid starts breaking down rapidly above 220 degrees, and at 250, you are cooking clutch material. That debris then circulates through the valve body and the solenoids you may have just paid to fix. So 2 things. First, if you are doing any significant repair, the cooler and the lines need to be properly serviced. A heated backflush, or replace the cooler and lines outright. An aerosol flush in a can does not count, and putting a fresh valve body downstream of a cooler full of old debris is how a repair fails twice. Second, going forward, watch the temperature. Your truck has a transmission temperature reading in the Driver Information Center menu. Most owners have never found it. Normal is around 170 to 190. If you tow and you regularly see above 220, an auxiliary cooler is not a modification. it is a repair you are doing in advance, when the problem really is the transmission. Now the honest section, because a video that tells you to keep chasing cheap fixes on a genuinely failed transmission would be doing you harm. Here are the signs that mean, stop working the list. First, slipping. Not hard shifting, slipping. If the engine revs climb and the truck does not accelerate to match, that is clutch packs no longer holding, and no fluid change or relearn brings that back. Second, limp mode. If the truck locks itself into one gear, usually third, that is a protection strategy, and it needs attention immediately. Do not keep driving it hoping it clears. Third, hard shifting that persists after you have done the fluid, the relearn, and the mount. At that point, you have eliminated the cheap end of the chain honestly, and something internal is genuinely wrong. Fourth, metal in the pan, not fine gray haze, which is normal, actual chunks or heavy debris. If any of those describe your truck, get it to a good transmission shop. And even then, get a second quote and ask specifically whether it needs a rebuild or a reman unit, because those are different products at different prices with different warranties. So there is the order. Fluid level, checked hot and properly, because most of you have no dipstick and have never seen it. The adaptive relearn, which is free and fixes a shocking number of post-battery complaints. Codes, so you walk in with information instead of a description. The mount, $50, that imitates a failing transmission. Fluid and filter with the correct spec, and if you have an 8-speed with a shudder, the blue label. Solenoids and the valve body, which do not require the transmission to come out of the truck. And the cooler, so whatever you fixed stays fixed. Work that list in order, and a large share of transmission quotes turn into a repair you can actually afford. And if you hit slipping, limp mode, or metal in the pan, you now know that is the real thing and it is time to stop. So tell me in the comments, what did a shop quote you and what were your symptoms? Drop it below, I read every one. Hit like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.